Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. It was a spur of the moment style game. The game was confirmed only earlier today, but we are here, myself, Toby1.
And the Capitalist.
And we are back here again, man, for our final game, a best of 5 that goes to 5. Welcome to your first broadcast from your German studio. A good one to start on.
Yeah, it's been a great series so far. Sigma has really put up one hell of a fight versus Na'Vi, and they may even take it.
Looking forward to seeing that. Let's jump ourselves in. So, draft time, and we will have Na'Vi over on the Radiant side for this last game. Sigma over on the DotA side with first ban, first pick, and they have decided to first ban the Wisp and first pick up the Clockwork. But in return, Lifestealer ends up in the hands of Na'Vi, as well as now the Visage.
Yeah, at the same time, though, they get the Venomancer, so either way, they were going to get a strong support out of the pool, and they get one of the best offlaners, if not the best offlaner in the current meta. So definitely a really good trade for Sigma. I like the way that they picked up Clockwork first. I really think he's a good enough hero to be picked up in that, especially with the creep equilibrium changing. That was just such a huge boost to a lot of heroes that did not, a lot of offlaners that didn't have escape mechanisms. The creep equilibrium change was a huge boost for them.
And for the ones that do have an escape mechanism, they just had even a better time now. Heroes like Timbersaw became like the best people because it almost gave you your secondary options where you're capable of having like whirling depth as well as like reactive armor, as opposed to having to level up the Tibetan and off lane and saying I must have an ability that allows me to escape. So yeah, it's definitely changed our entire world of Dota for the better in my mind. Yeah, just as long as they fix Broodmother.
And never
add in Earth Spirit ever. Not even Fire Spirit either. Both heroes severely broken.
Yeah. Let's not even get into that because, every Broodmother game I've gotten into, I've just raged and raged. It's just, that hero was awful.
I struggle why you make community rage. Volvo, please fix.
Every patch, it feels like he just, every big patch, it feels like he just does something.
But he balanced, he balanced so much.
I know, it feels like he gives, and he gives and he takes away, right? He balances so much, and you're like, oh, this is beautiful, but then there's just that one glaring thing. You're like, oh, why? At least he's
always like, with all the beta testers, with everybody that goes through these change logs and everything else, as like, how does this even get through?
I suppose you can't complain too much when most of it is not in captain mode. Most of the big glaring ones are not in captain.
Yeah, they're not in captain. I won't complain because of that. That's yeah. It just means my pub scene times I go play Counter-Strike. That right to pick up now for Na'Vi. So we get Denny's Jumping Initiator. That's going to work nicely with the Lifestealer as well. Already got the Visage with a huge amount of stuns, and well, battling up against the Clockwork's not going to be as amazing for the Bat Rider. But again, this is puppy drafting for the strength in lanes, not the strength of the overall. Like, if they win their lanes right now, they've got a Lifestealer. It's already pretty easy to win the lanes. If they have one extra controlling hero in this lane, then Sigma's going to have a real rough time if Na'Vi decide to run aggressive tri-lane with the Lifestealer. And we could also go the way that we saw before, where we see the Clinks coming up right now from Na'Vi. Because they did make a habit of running both Juggernaut as well as the Lifestealer of Vorst on the off lane. And letting him go solo with just maybe one support in the early stages of the game, and then putting all the other money and all the safety into somebody like a Clinks. That is just becoming a hell of a lot harder with the Weaver pickup. Weaver, the direct counter, almost, to the way the Lifestealer is able to lane. So Lifestealer has to make a choice right now if he's even happy of going up to that top lane, or even abandon him from the very, very start. Don't pick up a jungler and put him in the jungle from the very, very start, which is an old classic kind of Na'Vi thing.
You know, this is something that I was a little bit surprised if I was in Na'Vi's position. I'd much rather ban out the Weaver over the Luna, right? Like, I definitely understand the Beastmaster. It was a great pickup by Sigma. Sigma utilized it really, really well, so it goes to show how viable it can be versus the Lifestealer. perfect. Ban that out. But then Luna ban over the Weaver, in my mind, I'd much rather deal with the Luna, especially since, like you said, there are options for Lifestealer. You don't necessarily have to go for the hard carry and farm up, and all of a sudden you've got this giant Luna. You can go things like aggressive tri-lane and go some other great heroes, like Clinkz is a great hero versus Luna. If you're safe lane farming and you're going aggressive tri-lane versus Luna, shut down Luna's farm, delay the BKB, and get a faster Orchid up on Clinkz. Great hero versus Luna. But that being said, now you have to deal with the Weaver. It's a really hard hero to draft up against. At the very least, they do have Batrider. So they do have that really solid lockdown versus a Weaver. If they're able to get that fast blink up on Na'Vi on the Batrider, they should have a decently good counter to it. But still, in my mind, Weaver is just the more powerful hero in general versus Lifestealer. No surprise though, Na'Vi picks up the Enchantress. Again, securing themselves some decent late game while also really early game push and that sort of thing.
Yeah. As it's the early game, and it's also like the early game pressure to go into the mid game. We could always talk about Weaver being a great pickup against Lifestealer, but if Weaver gets no farm, well, it's nice really knowing you, Weaver.
Yeah, or if Weaver in like picking up Lincolns at the same time that Na'Vi is like 5-manning into your tier 2s and they're not breaking apart. Like, what does a Weaver do against that? If the team fight never breaks, a Weaver is only sitting on the outside pecking at the opponent, but is never actually able to secure kills because all it takes is Na'Vi as a unit just turning and fighting the Weaver every single time he Shukuchi's down and he tries to get some auto attacks off. So as long as Na'Vi stays grouped up, that is one option. In the mid games, they could just push down towers, or they can be very, very aggressive, like you said, and put a lot of pressure on ganking the Weaver. That being said, Abaddon is picked up by Sigma. No surprise, Batrider is on the other team, and it's one of their favorite supports. So I'm going to put my money a little bit more on the mid-game pushes coming out from Na'Vi, just because it can be a little risky using a Batrider and ganking so heavily versus an Abaddon.
Mm-hmm. How much would you bet on the... No, I wouldn't even bet on that. I had Queen of Pain in my mind in this lineup right now, but it's such a risky kind of... The Sigma can just shrug off everything he's going to be doing with a straight heal in from the Abaddon. In fact, that Abaddon is really just a thorn in everyone's sides. They need to have movement quick and easy to get away from him, or drag someone away with, which is what the Batrider really does kick in. But they also have to worry about the Lincoln Sphere a little bit later on, or they just say screw it and we 5-man push this and just have the Batrider being the jump-in initiator, which is the other way of approaching this. Because we've got one last hero left to pick up right now, and it's either Funnick or Revorsed. Actually, no, 100% it's Funnick. It's the last hero to be selected right now. Ganking up the Weaver is not as easy with the Clinkz, even though his damage in the later portions can be great. Ganking up Abaddon, also rather futile when you think about it. Even if you do have the Orchid, it's going to be very difficult to get the instant kill on him. And then you got the Venomance from the Clockwork, 2 heroes which are rather susceptible to the Clinkz, but we're going to go with the Mirana instead. So, yeah.
I was thinking of one of the other ladies. I was thinking of Wind Ranger. I mean, it's not typically Navi's style to run off lane, but I think in my mind, some solid off laner that is going to be able to pick up an early mech and give you that excessive team fight. Maybe a potential solid disable like that. But instead, the Mirana, so we're looking at something that could be a little bit more passive. They don't have to push in. We're not looking at the mid-game push. They're going to focus more on getting Mirana and Lifestealer to the harder carry status. And Sigma has to choose to respond with either picking up a hard carry of their own with the Weaver and going some sort of like aggressive tri-lane clock mid and something in the safe lane. Or do they go for controlling the mid-game on their own and go for some really strong mid-game hero that's going to be able to burst down the Mirana?
You'll have your answer soon, man. I'm going to give it 26 seconds, roughly.
You know, Toby, your predictions seem to be
on the mark?
On the mark every single time. I don't know how you do it,
it's almost like written in front of me.
It's almost like that. Yeah, I mean, Queen of Pain was really one of the few options left when it comes to mid-heroes. So solid mid-game, again, a hero that's going to be able to burst down Mirana. Does decently well versus Batrider in the mid. Won't destroy him or anything like that, but will do well, especially if you can get just one rotation from the Venomancer. And, yeah, there's a decent chance at the mid-game for Sigma, and can even maybe go a little bit late if they're ahead enough. So,
well, let's get into it, boys. Let's get into it. Just need the smoking Kuro to come back into his computer. and select up his hero. Because I know that's 100% what he's doing here in the break. He's like, no. I need to smoke. I gotta go smoke. Because I'm Kuro.
Yeah,
so
I can't, you know, just for whatever reason, he's like, I'm not that much older than him, but for whatever reason, I just can't see him doing things like smoking or drinking just because, to me, he's always that, like, 16-year-old pro player. Just, I don't...
He does look like it, doesn't he?
He does.
But he's, like, you have a conversation with him, it's like, no, Toby, no. It's this way, man. Like, you could understand that it's this way. For anyone that smoked Kuro, you should be really scared about how close that is to the way the Kuro speaks.
Have we seen a game yet where both teams haven't gone into the Radiant jungle?
The first game when they went dual lanes, but every other game, like the last one, both went to the Dire side. But they've always met like this 5v5. And Mad, you know he wants to fight, but at the same time, I think Navi's quite happy to fight this too. The level 1 fight for both these teams is quite decent. And Denny, he starts with Napalm as opposed to Firefly. He's already got 2 hits up on the Queen of Pain. It's almost like he's trying to bait him to go the Blink to start with. The arrow fly is in, but it's a little bit too low. That would have, if it was a little bit higher, it would have connected onto Soshka.
And there's nothing Paris could have done with 2 sticky napalm charges. At that point, when you see the arrow coming, do you try and change direction?
It's
you
like,
can't.
I'll dodge.
Sticky napalm.
I'll dodge. And he actually uses the Tango charge now.
Not bad. Not bad damage from Kuro.
When you have a Grave Chill, you got all the time in the world because you're just like, I don't want to say old walk, but you can move quite clearly. Mad, Rune doesn't spawn on bottom lane. It's a DD up on top of Mad. Oh, that's a 5-second. I don't think they're not going to cross the river for that. He's just a little bit too deep into enemy lines. But you're instantly seeing Soshka move towards the top rune. Funny's got to battle for it too. Does he throw another arrow? Come on, Funny, do it. Look for the blink in. Do it. He didn't do it.
I'm surprised he didn't take that. Especially since he was uphill on him. He could have maybe had the chance of being able to surprise him a little bit. But still, looks like Sigma, they're going to rotate their lanes to kind of shut down the Mirana. Dual lanes is a great way to do that. Venomancer is very, very good at being able to shut down off-lane heroes.
Sorry, I'm just switching Kuro to deny pass the bonus gold of killing off a ward, as well as then dish out damage to him just to add insult to injury. And then a new sentry ward coming down from Kuro, but from Puppy, but he didn't realize the position of the sentry ward originally from Sigma is a little bit further inside the lane. They weren't looking for that ward over on the side, but now with a Centaur, there's already the enchant, puts up the shield so he's able to break the enchant. Centaur stop is a little bit too far back, and now easy Shikuchi away from Miguel. I am really surprised by that wall placement by Puppy. He wanted to check over on the side here at the same time, I think, was the plan, which that sentry wall was in range to see.
Yeah, he wants to make sure there isn't vision to be able to see him rotate in with the Enchantress. So, still, this is interesting. Sigma is placing a lot of importance on the Queen of Pain here. This is like one of those farming Queen of Pains, but also really good versus Mirana.
He's in trouble.
Yep.
Look at that slow.
He's
116 movement speed. He's got no mana. He's got no level for leap anyway. He's just like stands on the stairs.
That's what happens when you get level 1 arrow and you're an offlane Mirana. They knew. Like Venomancer was like, I'm just gonna keep him out of lane, and he'll never pick up level 2. Like as long as Mad is sitting in front of the creep wave, there should be no reason that Funnick ever gets any CS. He's doing the smart thing here. He's actually going to try and pick up some of the experience from the Wildkin. He misses it.
Should point out, 1, that he's going to pick up a haste rune, and 2, this is after he killed off Fader in the middle lane. So he knows now it's 1 for 1. He managed to get that kill on Fader right underneath this tier 1 tower as well. And that's still with just Napalm as well as Firefly. And now Dendy, well, he's already going to put the Firefly down. He possibly could have remained in there and just took the damage from Fader so the arrow would connect. But looks like Dendy doesn't trust his teammate to get the arrow right.
I don't like this. This is such a fresh thing coming out from Sigma. It feels like they're going to win most of their lanes. Like it feels like they're going to win a majority of their lanes.
They're not at the moment. Like right now, if we start checking out our lanes, it's Havors who's 13 for 4 up against a Weaver who's 6 for 1. So already Miguel is behind on the CS on this bottom lane, and that's running a dual lane as well. Like this rotation's coming over from Kuro and Puppy, and they're going to look for another kill. Miguel's already got the shield up on him, which means Pass doesn't have another one to land. There goes your Hellbear Clap. There's going to be an enchant as well. I'm hearing an open wounds a little bit further down. Soul Assumption. They got Pass as well. Miguel's in the corner, and Havorst, he will die. to the initial attack from Miguel. He's got Shikuchi in a moment. Kuro's got the Grave Chills. They're going to try and slow him down, which means Kuro can get himself around the tree line in time. He's got no charges up in the Soul Assumption, but the Hellbear moving in. There's already going to be the shield coming off. The Clamp already goes too, and Miguel's going to try and go on Puppey. The nuke out from LOA. They've got to get this bug off Puppey, and they've got to get it off him now. There we go. It's off him. And where was the other kills?
That was in middle. Venomancer rotated over, got the slow off on Dendi. And Dendi, he tried to Firefly, he got cogsed in by Clockwork, tried to Firefly over it, but he got hit by 2 different cog charges as he was going through. So it actually ended up killing him. So really unfortunate, but Toby, it looks like Sigma's going to win all of their lanes.
We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Right now, I'm pretty sure Quaff is having possibly the best time of his life. So I'll definitely agree with you. That lane is won, hands down. But I'm still not seeing enough farm into a Weaver to justify a win. Not for Miguel. Like, he's got 1 kill, that's great. But I'm still not feeling the magic from him just yet. He's still 300, 400 net worth behind 4 minutes in from most of the carries.
That's true, but they're placing a lot more pressure on Paris. They really want him to be the main farmer here. I mean, they put him in the easiest lane possible. Funnick is non-existent. In fact, he's extra farm, is really what it is.
I'm surprised Funnick's not doing his little... well, it wasn't G League. It was the Alienware Cup thing, like the ancient area where you just basically clean off the tree line in here and then just attack. They didn't like there was nothing that was modified for that, did they?
I don't think so. Well, at least nothing that I've read in the patch notes. Again, I'm gonna blame it on Germany if I.
I just blame it on Germany. Everything's blamed on Germany.
And good rotation bottom.
He needs to Grave Chill. He's already been hit by the Gale. He's trying to do as much damage as he can before he dies, but the problem is he's attacking the hero who had the Abaddon shield on him. So he pops the Soul Assumption, and then no damage is done. In fact, he just cops it all back again to his face. And of course, there's no survivability on this bottom lane. Like, he's fighting up against both Plague Wards as well as basically this creep wave pushing him out of the tier 1 tower. While in the middle lane, Fader, Flame Break. That Tornado's not making life easy. Clockwork is just a point-blank range hook shot. Soul Assumption damage by Visage. Kuro now goes 2-1 on the board. And Pass couldn't help him. He TP'd in, but there's just no mana left in the tank.
Yeah. Good rotation. They really needed something like that to shut down the Clockwork before Clockwork starts getting really big with hookshot and rotating around. They know they just can't really do anything about this because the way the lane's shaped out, Sigma stomps all over Funnick, so he can't do anything, and then leaves the lane once Paris is so far ahead that, again, like, Funnick still can't get close to the lane. He's 1v1, but he's half the level of this Queen of Pain, so he can never come forward anyway. And so Venomancer with his rotations ensures that mid and bottom win their lane, even though I felt they could have kind of already drawn even at the very least. Venomancer gives them that edge, pulls them out ahead, and now those 2 supports coming out from Sigma are probably just going to rotate all over the place because now you've got 3 different heroes that are very, very independent. Weaver, once you hit level 6, is super independent in this off lane. Queen of Pain is such a high level; she kills anybody who gets near it. And Clockwork may gank around with the supports, but if they don't need to, if they're shutting down the other lanes already, might as well just keep up the farm game.
And you see Sigma's move. They want to stop Denny from reaching that Blink Dagger as quickly as possible. If they stop that, they stop Na'Vi getting momentum into this mid-game.
Yep.
Arrows or not. Like, Funnick's arrows are flying, but none of them are connecting right now. Because there hasn't been any real opportunities to try and, like, look for the angles. It just hasn't been there.
Yeah, like, Mirana is not a fast enough flash farmer to be able to make a comeback from that kind of just terrible lane. So if they can keep Batrider from being able to get Blink Dagger, that also stops Lifestealer, right? In many ways, that stops Lifestealer from being able to get those Infest ganks off. So they are simultaneously shutting down 2 different heroes. They're killing Navi's options. Pretty much if they get a kill here on Dendi, Navi's only options is just playing extremely passive and farming. And Sigma is going to be able to take a lot of tier 1s off of that because tier 1s at that point aren't worth defending because you know just Queen of Pain is going to clean up everybody. If you try and force a team fight around a tier 1, it's going to go terribly. So Na'Vi, I really feel like they have a lot of ground, even though it doesn't seem like the gold and experience graph really say that. I feel that Sigma's very, very far ahead here.
Yeah, I have the same feeling as you, man. I really feel like their movement, their items, their levels, everything is basically coming in better into this middle portion of the game. I say middle portion, we're still got to remember we're only 6.5 minutes into this game.
It just feels long with all the pauses.
Yeah, it feels a little bit longer. Not to mention it's also the full best of 5 that we're doing tonight.
That's true.
Like, these guys have already been playing for 4 hours and now 12 minutes, coming past the official starting time, which we're actually a little bit late, so technically we just say 4 hours.
I'll tell you what, Toby.
Well,
I think I'm walking into work tomorrow.
yeah,
I do not want to come in here at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we got Cap up, he's in one of the apartments, which is right opposite our CEO. So our CEO drives him in at 9 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, I guess we'll work out a Google map for you to get you in here before you find your own.
Just be
apartment.
holding papers while I walk. Take left at this. Okay, because I don't have a cell phone, right? I don't have a cell phone.
Not
with
until tomorrow.
GPS. So.
Well, you have a phone, but your contract for the German contract.
Yeah. I don't really want to pay for that data.
Yeah. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. Once the company hooks you up,
It's here.
you'll all be good, man. You'll be all good. You'll be okay, Cap. The only problem is when you walk around.
You guys gonna be like at like noon tomorrow. You're gonna be like, "Where's Cap at?" And I'm just gonna be like huddled under some bridge somewhere in Germany. I don't know where I am. Google Maps failed me.
And it's like I tried to ask a German for help, but all of a sudden he spoke German. I didn't know what to do.
Toby said most of them speak English. He lied.
Well, most of them speak a level of English.
And that giant storm coming in as well.
Yeah. For those who don't know, we are meant to be streaming out tomorrow night for the semi-final. So the winner of this plays up against Speed Gaming. Is meant to happen tomorrow night. And then the schedule for the grand final, which is Alliance versus the winner of that match. Unknown date for when it's going to start. But yeah, we're meant to be streaming tomorrow night. And it's meant to be the worst storm in 50 years to hit Berlin is coming in tomorrow. It's possible it may even start tonight on the way home. So yeah,
That's perfect. Perfect. That's what I'm gonna be stuck in when I'm lost in Germany. This giant storm is just gonna come along and.
Yeah. So
Wipe
for those
me
guys in Germany, this is your weather warning system. Please remove any loose objects which are around your house and store them quite securely in a locked area and close all your windows so you don't blow up your computers with the rain that comes through the window. Suggestion number 1. The tips are for survival. They're the first thing, it's like, ooh, storm's coming into Australia. Grab the computer, put it on top of the desk.
That should be your next YouTube show, Toby.
How
PSAs with Toby.
How to survive a storm in Australia? Well, there is this one thing called a flash flood. If that happens in your neighborhood, get onto your roof. Normally, you wouldn't say go into the outdoors in a flash flood, but it's actually the best place you could be. Or, if you have enough of a warning, get your ass away from your house to a high ground. Chat trivia. This is a good thing.
Well done, Nahaz.
2 players are within one game. Within one game of each other, 35 and 36 wins for the most career wins as Batrider in Pro Dota 2. Name them. S4 Dandy.
Yeah, I mean, you're picking two of the teams with the highest win rates.
Yep.
Way to go, Toby.
So I go with that one.
Dick move. Dick move.
What is a dick move? I play with the percentages. The other, well,
that's okay. I can't clown on you because I do the same thing with the Dota Lounge. You know.
How often does Ferrari play Batrider? Because that would be another name I'd toss into the pool. Who else would you add into that list? Like the 3 most popular mids. Fader, he's played Batrider, but he didn't. I wouldn't expect him to have an insanely high win rate or even that many games with it.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't think it's
Bulba. Can't forget Bulba. Because I'm also thinking about his off-lane periods as well. Because we should also look and think about the off-lane Batriders. S4 and Scandal is one of the guys in the chat. Can't really forget about Scandal. Team Empire used to play Batrider every single frickin' day.
Yeah,
they possibly could. So I think Scandal's actually a really good choice. But I don't think Team Empire have won enough games to say he's got the highest.
That was my thoughts for Liquid as well.
So you're Bone 7, his name got put forward. But I know he experimented a lot with Batrider, but I don't think he played enough games to justify the top 2 slots.
Yeah.
Especially with being rather experimental, sometimes it like fell
I
on
don't.
its
Yeah,
ass.
I don't even know if he's got 30 games in as Batrider in professional. So.
A couple of guys are claiming mushy. One of the guys said YYF.
Oh, nice.
S4
well
and
done,
Scandal.
sir. Well done, sir.
We give him props. Bulba is in 3rd position, and Dendy actually has a horrible ranking with him. Only
Bulba
a
actually
15-10.
has. Yeah, he's 35 games in as Batrider.
I'm really
More
surprised.
than I expected.
Well, it probably would have been through that. Hang on, is that through this current patch? I assume it is. I assume all our stats are from this patch. But it's, because if it's the old one, I'd be like, oh, off-lane Batrider. Well done, Bulba. Well done, Bulba.
Do we know what the pause is for, by the way?
Sound
has
issues.
Sound issues.
Sound
Okay.
issues. So, yeah. Might be hard. Well, there you go. S4, yeah, okay. He's 11-3 and 9-1 in 6.79. So it was counting all the other previous matches, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about Dendy, just because I don't think Dendy's win rate. Nahaz, what's Dendy's win rate on Bat?
Are we talking for this current patch, or are you talking for like
Either one. Either one.
either one?
If you can, hey, Nahaz, if you can hook me up with both.
15-10 overall.
Yeah, I didn't really think his win rate was that amazing compared to his other mids. Like, obviously, 15-10, that's still a great win rate, but compared to his other mids.
I'm just happy having a 50-50 in pubs.
With any hero. With Drow Ranger every game.
Hey, don't you be knocking my Drow Ranger. I have a very good, like, as far as, like, hero successes, Drow Ranger is number 2.
In Dire Tide?
In Dietide it worked.
Boom!
It worked very well in Dietide, thank you very much.
Oh, he just disappeared.
Okay. It's obviously a rather large problem when someone just, like, disappears from the world.
Yeah, from sound issues, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like sound issues.
It goes from one thing to computer dying.
Never a great thing. Well done. The shameless plugging of fucking Mad's blog. Nahaz, a man of the people for the people.
Nahaz, what is he paying you?
Nothing. He's a man that loves the community. He's even ignoring the welfare of his
own children.
his own daughter. He's a parent of like 2 weeks now. It's 2 weeks since he's had a child, so he spent as much time as he possibly can on the internet.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be on voice, so he just rocking the baby while one hand checking out Dota stats.
Just go like the foot. Like it's like a foot, like a pedal for like a drum set, and just like rocks the cot back and forward. So just something like keep pounding the foot while you're just like doing the stats. Starts to cry, not a problem. Hit a button on the computer, delivers milk. Welcome to the modern age.
Or yell at the mother.
Yeah, no.
She's hungry. Month old this Friday. Congrats, man. That's adorable.
There you go.
And we got Dota just in time. Look at that.
Fantastic. Because I was getting all mushy and wanted a child now. Instead, I'll settle for a cat.
Oh my. Toby's got baby fever.
No, could you even imagine me having a child? Oh my lord. Even I'd be scared of that prospect.
No, I could just see you in the pregnancy room as the mother's giving birth. It's a black hole!
No! No. But definitely, it would be kind of crazy if the father could scream louder than the mother that's giving birth. Gale over on Akuro right now.
Oh
my god, disturbing image.
all right. Did you see that? That was like the ultimate map.
The trees came up?
The tree came up. Like, he wouldn't have pursued anyway, but just saying, if he wanted to, the map was like, nope. Nope. Not happening. So we're like 20 minutes into this game, right, Toby?
Nope. I think with the pauses, we're probably cracking around 25. Yeah, not including draft. Not including draft. Including draft, we're over the 30-minute mark right now, which is the reason why you get so much wonderful filler. Bottom lane movement, Havor's, he's in trouble. He's already used his...
if he gets hit by the Gale here before he rages...
Oh, he rages, moves over, buys TP, TP straight away.
Nice.
Actually, they don't even have a stun.
Yeah.
The only stun that's available in this lineup comes from the Clockwork.
Yep.
Probably something just to bear in mind of maybe let's go beat KB. Even then, actually, you wouldn't even need to go all BKB, because Clockwork, if he latches it, you're going to get locked inside that anyway. Like, the Gales, the Stings, that's probably going to be your biggest problem right now. But
BKB is still a good idea, mainly because Queen of Pain is going to be building into Orchid, and that and Queen of Pain is in the one farming role here. He's not necessarily the one. Weaver is going to be the main carry for them, but they put Paris, put him in a position where he's going to be picking up the most farm in lanes. So a BKB is still a good option in that regard. So unfortunately, they're going to lose that tier 1 tower here. Funnick is going to look for the deny at top, but look at Paris. He just sort of walks towards Funnick, and Funnick's like, I got to get out of here.
You want some of this? You want some of this? You can't handle this. Miguel's getting some good space on this bottom lane now. He's up to the 3rd highest net worth, and that for me is like the most crucial thing for Sigma.
Ooh.
There's a smoke 3-way.
If this doesn't pay off, Na'Vi could be in some pretty big hurt. Like having 4 heroes in one lane this early, and it's not like it's even
pays off.
Does it?
Soshka blinks away, but he's already been grave chilled up as well as open wounds as well, so they don't have as much control, but he's got a blink in 3 seconds, and the Satyrs were coming from the side. Now Fader, hook shots in. The arrow only connects on the Satyr, and Fader trying to mode up against the Visage, but it's a 2-for-1 trade, but 2 cores going down for Sigma. And the familiar birds got summoned up just before death. But at the same time, Bat Rider, no blink dagger available, but you know what he wants. He wants to cut off the retreat of these 2 supports.
Yeah, they're going to go for more here. And Dendi, he's actually going to be able to pick up his blink dagger right now.
Really, puppy? Really?
Of course.
Like
every game.
Like, you're trying to find kills, like, where's your urn? Where's something like this? Like, no, I go Hand of Midas. He's got the Midas.
Oh, man, that was such a great turnaround for Na'Vi there, because now that delays the Orchid pickup. They're actually going to kill Havos. Look at this bottom. Oh, they barely missed it out in Fest just in time, but they tried to surprise him with the nuke damage.
They can't even stop. He can get a denial off right now he shouldn't. He should just stay inside this creep. Like, the denying at the front group. Like, is he in that one? They blinked in. Like, like Soshka blinked really thinking he was in that one, and now he jumps out. Top lane, though, Denny's in trouble. Fire flying over the tree line, no longer in trouble. And Havos, he's turning.
Oh, they know.
He's turning for this. Ooh. He wants to... Whoa. He paw swiped once on Miguel. Fader's still going to hook shot, and whoa. He went through Funnick. Cogs, leap away. The nuke from LOA is not enough to get the kill. Rocket flying down too, not enough to get the kill.
But, oh, man.
Okay, where's the second rocket? 10 seconds away. It won't be enough damage. It's a level 2 rocket. It wouldn't be enough damage even if you threw it to the well.
Yeah. Yeah, things are turning around pretty nicely for Sigma. I mean, the gold lead has dropped mainly because they've been able to pick up 2 tier 1s. And Na'Vi hasn't grabbed a single tier 1 of their own. But the experience is in the favor of Na'Vi. So, even though it looks pretty bad, it's actually not as bad. Just those small turnarounds, actually being able to pick up those 2 kills at top. Earlier, right after the pause, we had that smoke gank where we said if they killed Dendi, they would be so far ahead because they delayed that blink dagger. Instead, 2.5 minutes later, Dendi actually picks up the full blink dagger. So, Na'Vi, in just a short couple of minutes, is actually able to turn this around. They should be able to turn this into a kill on middle. They'd love to be able to pick up Paris here. That would be a great option for Dendi to grab. Especially
just before he completes up his Orchid. That's like it would be like critical timing. But for now, with the Dire Sentry Ward, Dendi Firefly blink up. They got mad. So, one of the 2 French, he gets a good ulti off as well. Which means Kuro is going to back himself up a little bit more. And Soshka, well, he doesn't have ulti. Arrow flies up. 5 seconds on the stun. And Dendi, well, the Familiars are on their way in. Soul Assumption damage. If they can get their stomps off, no, they didn't have enough time. So at the end of the day, they just backed themselves up. Wait, what? 20-0? Oh, when finishing Orchid before 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for Soshka. That's like Soshka's personal stats. It's not even everybody's stats. The fact he's actually managed to win 20 games like that.
I mean, and he's got some really good heroes to be going
up. Latches in. Found Dendi. The Firefly is already up, so he's able to go over the top of the cogs. Orchid it up as well, but Fader staying with him and now get the kill. The Quap, in fact, pops him with the Orchid. Kuro's already thrown a good Soul Assumption into Fader. He's got a ton of bottle up. The stuns holding. Oh, wow. He started to blink, but it was already too late. Kuro, he'll die right now. He's in the middle of the fight and then basically way too deep over his head. At the same time, everyone else is too. Avors mops up the Venomance from the back end of play. He's still got the Infest possibility, and that's the reason why you see that that Hellbear should stay in nice and close so Avors can use it if he needs to, because Miguel's right behind him, but Miguel doesn't really have enough damage just yet to be part of these fights, and with the arrow flying up, if that range creep wasn't there, Miguel was in trouble.
Range creep, diving on the grenade. But yeah, that should have been a way worse fight. Na'Vi somehow turns that and makes it a 2-for-2. With a haste rune and everything going down, the biggest thing is that Quap was unable to get anything off. Anything. But yeah, that's Quap overall.
Middle lane push is now coming in from Sigma. Get ready to fight again, boys. The armor's currently turned off for Avors, but you know he's ready to run in. But Miguel, again, he's trying to fight so early on. And the birds, nice clockwork latch, and they almost got it. The Gemini attack enough to, the Gemini attack was not enough to finish up the courier, but
necessary.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah,
they had the Orchid off on him, didn't they?
Everything is necessary to kill Avors.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Avors is just that manly. Well, they're going to be able to pick up a tier 1 off of that. Again, more of a gold lead. And that's sort of that gold lead that they can hold on to with this sort of team. They've got the mid game, I feel, pretty under control. If they stay grouped up, there's not much fear from the Batrider. Marana is going to be so long before he's viable. I think if they just kind of group up, as soon as they get their basic items and push in, there should be nothing stopping them from taking tier 2s and just growing that gold lead more and more and more. They just really need Lincolns on Weaver is the big thing, I feel. The Orchid's already up on Queen of Pain, so they can do like a 4-man roaming squad.
Man, you're a dick.
Oh, did he take it away from Paris?
He took the illusion rune. Sashka was like, oh, I'll just bubble charge and then just get my life back up again, and I'll take this rune. And then Matt's like, nope, mine.
It's smart, though. Matt's going to start setting up for an early Roche. Because with already the big tier 1s taken, and they could roll around as a 4-man death squad, which may or may not be successful, here's something that they know will work. They can take Roshan. They've got the map control that they know they can do it pretty easily, and they're still doing pretty much, they're gaining a good golden experience advantage by grouping up as 4-man and letting Weaver farm. It's the same idea as roaming around as 4 as ganking, but it's a safer strategy overall.
Tower is under attack.
Well, I'm just wondering how great the trade's going to be. Like, I know you're taking Roshan, that's obviously a great trade, but still, even with that fight in the middle lane when they lost to Horst, Puppey had solo experience and solo farm on the bottom lane, while Funnick was getting the same up on the top lane. There's just a lot of money coming into, as well as experience coming into Na'Vi. Like, Roshan now goes down, but look at the experience graph, man. The change over that last fight, even with the pickoffs going the way of Sigma, the experience goes up to 2,000 gold. 2,000 the way of Na'Vi. It's not even the way of Sigma, it's the way of Na'Vi. And then on the other side of things, you get the gold going the way of Sigma, but all of that is just the tower gold as well. So once these towers start getting claimed up by Na'Vi, a lot of the gold comes back again.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, is that would have been worth it. I feel Roche would have been worth it if they immediately teleported top and stopped any more damage on the tier 1.
Well, they're going to try and fight right now.
Team fight.
Here comes the TPs, but the familiar birds have taken out the tower already. So Visage will take this one. Soshka, he is inside that Invis rune right now, but he's lost all the heroes. Like, everyone's back again. Avos almost back inside of his base. And Marana, welcome to our next on Who Has the Hand of Midas. And it's going to be Marana.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. I mean, my whole entire idea for Sigma was just them being able to take that tier 1 gold and make sure that they stayed ahead by never letting Na'Vi. They don't have amazing split pushers, right? They don't have something like a Furion that really is easily able to trade you. So if they just 5-man around when they're taking these tier 2s, they should be able to successfully keep Na'Vi only taking trading maybe 1, maybe 2 tier 1s, and they're taking tier 2s in exchange. They should stay ahead. That was pretty much a free tier 1 that I felt that they gave away just by not immediately teleporting to it after the Roshan. I mean, it's doubtful that Navi's really going to try and force that fight with 3 or 4 teleports on a tower, especially when you have Aegis on that team. I think it'd be just too risky of a team fight in general to take. But still, I mean, they're about to pick up the Lincolns up on Miguel. So that's a good ad in just a couple of minutes. That's going to be very, very crucial for Na'Vi, is whether or not they can gank this Weaver before the Lincolns is up.
Well, actually, even then, like, I think the crucial point, like, isn't just like when Na'Vi's able to gank him up before the Lincolns, but it's on the other end of the thing, on the other end of the scale, saying, can Miguel actually get farm after he's got his Lincolns? Because I still always judge the Weaver by a 25 to 28 minute mark when he gets a damage dealing item. At that point, I say, fantastic, now the Weaver's really part of the game. Like, what does he do before that? Like, he was running around during the fight in the middle lane, couple of Gemnet attacks. He couldn't even kill off a courier. Like, this is just, I don't feel the effectiveness of the Weaver until he does hit that first damage dealing item, be it a Desolator, or be it a Chrysalis, or be it whatever he's looking to build into.
Yeah, in my mind, looking at this draft, especially this draft in particular, but just being able to get the Lincolns before 20 minutes, there should be nothing stopping Miguel from being able to pick up those items, right? Especially if the rest of his team is pressuring tier 2s. He may even join them for some of those pushes. So in my mind, it just stops Dendi enough that he'll never be threatened and never be shut down hard. So right now they're rotating to the bottom. Tier 2, maybe going to try and force out this Aegis fight. They've got the level 2 ultimate up on Queen of Pain. This should be a decent fight for them, but again, they're going up into a tier 2. And it looks like Navi's going to have the surprise advantage here with the smoke up.
Yep, and not to mention that, they're going to smoke him from the high side, but they're also going to jump in with Dendi through the back end and instantly go over the Venomancer, who got the ulti up almost instantly too. LOA got the shield to protect him, and Miguel, that's a long stun from Funnick. It's 5 seconds on him, and then also the Starfall. They take out the Queen of Pain. Avos is still fighting in the middle of this, but he knows too he can't survive forever. He tried to armlet toggle, but you knew he was going to tick out the second he did. And now Soshka blinks away. There's still LOA plus Fader trying to fight in the middle of this one. Healing up over onto Soshka. He's letting him scream after scream, and now Puppey having to stand his ground up against a Clockwork and everybody else. It's just Soshka getting kill after kill. And Sigma, they're going to roll into this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. And they're already looking to try and force out a GG call out from Na'Vi, because they are looking just on the hunt. Soshka blinks in, orchid over on Funnick. He can't chase it any deeper than that, though.
This is exactly what I wanted from Sigma. They forced a really good team fight there. Na'Vi, they knew they had to take something, right? They couldn't just give up tier 2s for nothing. They didn't have enough split push to be able to trade, so they said we have to take this team fight. We can't just let them take towers, otherwise they're going to snowball heavily against us. So they did the very best they could in this situation. Unfortunately, Veda had a really good reaction there. The moment that the Lifestealer popped out and raged up and started attacking the supports, Beta hit the hook shot, which was so huge because it meant the supports lived through the rest of the team fight.
Yep.
Even though Miguel went down, like you said, he's not much damage, right? So the Queen of Pain having the Aegis is that much better. So really smart decision making by Sigma.
They've really just been playing great Dota, but they always, like, so many people always underestimated this team. Time and time again. They didn't really have themselves a great time at ESWC, only being able to place up third in that competition. Things just went wrong for them there. MLG, they surprised the crap out of absolutely everybody. And then, I know directly after that, everyone's like, oh, why aren't they invited to DreamHack? Why aren't they invited to all these other different things? And they really are a top team, but they've never really claimed that huge title that says, we are the champions. The closest they actually got was actually the DreamHack title, where they claimed it nicely. Hook shot up into Kuro, and this is going to be the Visage Dead. Arrow is on the way in, and that's going to connect on the Fader with the Soul Assumption damage. Funnick with the Starfall as well, the extra star. Well, there's a familiar drop, but the Meg Charge already popped off in a Force. I'm not quite sure about this commitment with shields and heals coming out from Pass. He's diving in very deep for this. The cogs go down. I think he's just trying to prep for the familiars to finish the job. And now Pass, he's overstayed his own welcome. Venomancer coming back into this fight. He's got his ulti available.
Oh, no.
The ulti going off from the Abaddon, and he's in a lot of trouble. In fact, he's going to die right now. At the same time, well, where's our Clockwork? He's running back to base. But it becomes a one-for-one trade, support for support.
Yeah, he made that slight mistake of activating his ultimate and at a bad time when there was no disables on him. The net was already down, and when he activated the ultimate, he ended up walking into the enemy a little bit, thinking maybe we can force a little skirmish here and maybe come out a kill ahead. But it was just the wrong time for that ultimate. Havos coming in with the open wounds immediately afterwards. Easy kill for them. Still, though, the Lincolns was picked up by Weaver, so they're still picking up farm elsewhere. It's not terribly bad for Sigma. The big thing was that Clockwork was able to survive.
Oh. Kuro's looking to jump into middle lane. Now that Denny's got his 4-star.
And look at Puppey bottom. Easy kill for them.
Orchid again with Clockwork on the hook in. Alright, this is just becoming just like easy snipe outs. And we do ask ourselves the question, what has this Hand of Midas done for Funnick late? He has drums. Whoopity-doo-dah. Lifestealer had that as well. They're looking for the jump in towards the middle, but with the Lincoln Sphere over on Weaver, it's not a place that anybody wants to go into. Like, the Orchid's already on Denny. 4-star. Oh, he gets himself out of range of the Quap ulti now. Might still consider jumping back in again with the lasso, but he used his own 4-star, which does not make him this easy. And the rest of Sigma just keep attacking onto that tier 2 tower. This will not survive. Familiars are going to come in, try and again attempt to denial, but it's a little bit too late from Kuro. But now 14-10, and Sigma, they've got only one remaining outer tower to claim before they can basically choke and siege out Na'Vi inside their own base.
Yep, the big thing is if they can pick up that last tier 2, they're basically just jump starting Weaver's second item, right? He's already halfway to what is presumably going to be a Desolator. Right, once he has that,
then he's got to jump.
They focus on Roche.
Lasso, Avos jumps out, and they're going to get Bucky mad. No level of heal is going to help him. Clockwork, whoa, 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 whoa! That was a little bit too deep. He went right onto Puppy, which was in front of Dandy in the middle of 4 different heroes, and now Fader's going to go down here, or maybe he won't. Arrow flies up. Oh, it was in front of Fader, and Pass kept giving him heals. The shields are up as well. Avos wants to keep fighting. The Starfall drops from funding. They finally get the kill, but they're taking so much damage to do so. And Abaddon, where's the stun? Where's the damage? The Soul Assumptions. He's got 3. He's got arrows. He's got 2 different arrows in the Soul Assumption flying his way. All right. One will connect and the other will disjoint. But they didn't have enough damage to finish him off.
Still, though, that Clockwork, that was really unfortunate. He was aiming for Dendy, right? He was aiming for the Batrider, I'm presuming, when I looked over, and he just missed and hit a hero behind him.
Yes.
Wow. That's super unfortunate. Great pickoff, though. Grabbing the Clockwork. It's what Na'Vi needs. They need the small things. They just need to be able to delay this game for the Midas to start being effective for Mirana. And this is one of the few cases I'm okay with a Midas on Mirana, because they put Funnick in a situation where he's not going to be able to pick up any farm anyway. Once you've shut Mirana down in a lane, there's not much mid-game to talk about for Mirana. She's a decent utility with the Moonlight Shadow. She can throw in some arrows and that sort of thing. But you might as well, if you're going to commit, you might as well just commit to being useless, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm not doing any physical damage. We could just rely on my abilities. I'll get some extra experience from Midas, and we'll just focus on me getting to some actual late-game items via Midas.
Kuro's about to shed a tear. He doesn't want to read some of his familiars right now. But he needs them because Roshan's being done by Sigma. But they can't even fight this. No. They really can't fight this. If they jump in on top of Sigma, they'll lose their entire life points. They're going to keep on fighting their farm on the off lanes and just delaying Sigma out. They want Sigma to try and come high ground against them because that's going to be the best place for Na'Vi to fight. But fighting up against an Aegis or the Immortal, it's not something you really want to do. But on the bright side, you're not going up against a Desolator yet. What was the timer I put on it? 25 to 26. Mm-hmm. Right now, Weaver is sitting with Mithril Hammer as well as Deso Recipe. And he needs 600 gold, 1,600 gold, and he's sitting at 250. Not too bad. It's not a fantastic timing for a Weaver, but considering the lane they force him to do, it's a decent timing, hence the 28-minute mark. Yeah,
he's got decent CS. He was picked up once in a team fight that went their way. That was definitely worth the trade. So once they pick up this tier 2, the Desolator won't be far behind.
It's still crazy that Na'Vi have the experience advantage.
Yeah.
It's 2.75k going their way right now. It's still crazy they're able to hold that.
You know what we need?
What do we need?
We need a stat that shows current sprees.
Yes.
Since with the new meta, how important spree gold is, if we could have just a list of just like none, and then like, you know, wicked sick or something, you could kind of see how much where some of these heroes are at and exactly how much gold Na'Vi can return.
That was in Warcraft 3.
Was it?
Yeah, the stat was in Warcraft 3. When it dropped down, it told you how many times this hero killed this hero.
Oh.
And it also told you the longest spree and the current spree.
Mm-hmm. I remember that now.
Yeah. Actually, originally when TI1 was coming up, and I was asked, what stats do I want? And I said, everything which was on the Warcraft 3 list. And they're like, yeah, here's a screenshot. Give me everything that's on there. 3 years later.
Nope.
Well, actually, not 3 years later. Almost 2.5 years later.
Avos has a decent amount of farm, though. I mean, you can look at Mirana and say there's nothing there, but he's got Basher, Armlet, and Drums up on Lifestealer at least. They just need those
Soshka?
pickoffs.
4-star from Denny. He already had the Firefly up, so he still would have been able to escape from that one, but just the potential of being nuked down. It didn't help too that the Plague Ward went down from the Venomancer. So the second the Bat Rider showed himself, it was just a simple thing of like, oh, Venomancer attacks him, can't use Blink Dagger anymore. Got to rely on the 4-staff.
Sigma's kind of being delayed right now, which usually is of a concern for me, but again, they're still working on that Desolator for Miguel. So taking a bit of time to farm that up before they get all aggressive is really not that big of a deal. But they just can't delay this, you know, another 5-10 minutes, because then Navi's going to be picking up some of their big items.
Orchid already used on Denny. Able to blink away before the attacking Quap was able to connect.
Well played.
Some quick reflex. I think that was a double tap too.
Yeah. If like for example, if Havos gets Abyssal, that's actually pretty scary. Being able to have that instant lockdown against a Queen of Pain. If Dendi jumps in, grabs a hero, Lifestealer pops out, eats him up, kills that hero, goes for an Abyssal on the next.
Havos is dead. He's up here with it. He's okay. He's gonna rage TP out. Nothing can cancel for it. It's a full rotation from Sigma coming in. If Fader was anywhere closer than that, if he also had like a level 3 ult, he'd be like, yeah, my jump time.
This is like, I'm going to put it this way, they're being like map kited. Like it's not like individually kiting around heroes, they're just kiting around the whole entire Sigma team, keeping them from being able to achieve anything of importance. Tier 2 still up, they're going to go for it now though. They're finally going to pick that up. Miguel's going to be able to fly out his Desolator right now. And maybe they can force Aegis fight.
It's a trade-off. Like, if Vorce is taking out the Tier 1 tower in mid, there's no fortification for Sigma. Like, they look for the Tier 3 tower right now. It's actually a really good time, because Bat Rider's got his Firefly and cooldown. Funnick is pushing into the Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. There's fortification available for the Radiant side, so they got time to TP themselves back in here again. But you'll look at this and just say, okay, pretty sure right now, Na'Vi just won on the trade-off. Forcing Miguel back. Puppey gets attacked a little bit. The Gale's already flown out from Mad. So he gets to go on cooldown a little bit longer. But Na'Vi just were able to take out almost. Like, their bottom tower hasn't gone down just yet. Havors is still farming inside the jungle. Look at the golden experience graph while this is going on.
Yeah.
The experience graph is now shooting up to 4,000. This is what happens when you commit so many players into one lane and you don't achieve anything. The Desolator is in here for the Weaver. That's a great thing for Sigma. But the arrow flies up 5 seconds on the Weaver. That's another staller. Havors just keeps farming. He's coming over here to take the bottom tower.
You know what's really sad is if that Miguel had his Desolator like 30 seconds earlier, this Tier 3 tower would practically be dead.
Yep.
Because they had so much time hitting in the tower, but unfortunately Weaver just didn't have any damage. Now he does, but all of Na'Vi is sitting there, and you have to push up against... Ooh.
That's a crazy jump, especially when you've got your Queen of Pain already 5 seconds stunned up.
Yeah, I think they're feeling the pressure, though. They really feel the need to go.
Denny! He's orchid! 4 staffs away. Mirana Oldie's going to be triggered. Wants to get him away to safety. There's a sentry ward down. Havors just pushed his tower, man.
Yeah, they can give up this Tier 1. This is actually a decent trade for Sigma because they can give up this Tier 1. It doesn't matter if the Tier 1 goes down as long as they can force going uphill right now with Firefly down and Mirana's ultimate also down. Like, that's a decent trade.
It's very, very difficult, though. Like, like Miguel is attacking the tower. This is going to be great. But it's still, at the end of the day, this is a 2-tower trade for a 1 tower. And now Na'Vi might try and pick up the stragglers. Then he's got Firefly in 1 second time. Yep, here we go. Leap up, arrow flies, Mad connects.
Oh, no.
That's a 3 seconds on the stun. The Impetus keeps flying out as well from Puppey. But then Veno, Quap ulti, flies out, but Laurie Livestealer with the Infest pop back kills at the Venomancer. Aegis will trigger as well. The buyback came out from the Veno, but he's a long way away. But he's just defending the bottom lane. Soshka blinks down Orchid. Denny should go down right now. In fact, he does do so. But again, the Impetus goes to work, leap in, point blank range arrow, and actually went through him. What the crap? Ice Frog fix! Pass is going to be out of here too! There's no extra stun!
Oh my god.
What is with the arrow just evading bodies? It's like it goes straight between the legs and out the other side.
The shield from Poss gave Paris just enough health to be able to live through that. That was insane. A really big part of that team fight for Sigma. That was a really bad team fight for Sigma. Because they lost so much, but it was okay as long as they were able to finally force a fight. at the base. Like, he can give up so much gold as long as you're able to actually get racks off of it. And because they didn't, now Havos is really far ahead. Like, he was able to pick up Abyssal and still have another 1,100 gold after that. And it still has a lot of farming time before Sigma can threaten that top lane again. So they're actually going to be able to get their next set of items before Sigma can regroup and go again. In fact, Sigma, they may even be discouraged enough. Yeah. Oh, did they on?
Yeah,
on
just
nice.
flow on the career.
Okay, I was just about to say maybe they wait for Side Device.
If he died then, that would have been so different.
That would have been huge.
So different. And how many? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's played a pub game where the Mirana arrow has gone through a body.
Well, part of it is a lot of times that graphical glitch where
it looks right, but it's not quite.
Yeah. Oh, Fada, can he get this? No. Oh, man, he forced out the leap, which is a beautiful play, but then unfortunately just wasn't unable to land out the hook shot after that.
Like a Funix move speed there. Like when you got both the leap as well as the phase boost combined together, like you're throwing out urn charges, you're trying to catch. Soshka got the Orca too as now there's the Hex going to work, and Funix dead. This is a huge kill right now for Sigma.
Yeah, that's great.
They're going to go straight through top lane though. It's 38 seconds until Roshan spawns, and this is a dangerous time to try and push in. Because if this fight goes wrong, the potential to not only lose the fight, but lose the next Roshan, which will be Aegis and Cheese, that's a dangerous, dangerous game to play. But there's no Mirana, there's no arrows. That 5 seconds done really worked well for Na'Vi in the last game.
There is a buyback.
There is a buyback. In fact, it now has to be used. There should be a backup by Sigma. They force a buyback. The Mirana ulti was used almost instantly. And Dendy, he's looking for a jump. They've still got the problem with that Lincoln Sphere, and Dendy, BKB will pop. Havos jumps out, but Dendy almost melted. The arrow connects on the Abaddon, which means they don't have their shield. Miguel, the Familiars kept the stun going. He now buybacks and time lapses back into the fight. So now he can fight once again with Havos. He's trying to bash him down. The Abyssal Blade going to work. Miguel almost dead again. He doesn't have time lapse anymore. Havos goes down. He did get a bash on that one. It's a triple kill for Miguel. It's a double kill for Havos. Funnick with no life points whatsoever. The Venomancer tick out kills him off. And Sigma's able to retreat back out of here.
Wow.
But again, they do not take this Rax on the top. Na'Vi be fighting for Sigma. They also be fighting bloody well.
They did. I mean, that was a beautiful play, right? The moment they saw buyback and the Moonlight Shadow was popped, they backed away, threw down cogs, which is a great idea when you're backing away like that. But then they also went up the ramp and forced Na'Vi to go through that small clutch area of the ramp and then forced the team fight on top of that. It made Na'Vi group up quite a bit. Paris had some beautiful plays there, being able to kite around the heroes. It forced Mirana to leap in aggressively, which is something you never want to do as a Mirana unless you're hugely farmed. And it forced the Mirana jump in aggressively to actually finish off the kill and got him dead as well. So it was still a great team fight for Sigma. Unfortunately, the game is drawing out, and Na'Vi, it's to Na'Vi's advantage. Even though Sigma can take this late game and still come out on top, they can go 55 minutes, 75 minutes in and still come out on top. Na'Vi is beginning to make more of a comeback in gold and their items in general.
See, that's the funny thing. Like, before the fight, they were doing really good. After the fight, they just lost about 5,000 worth of experience.
Yeah.
And as far as gold goes, Sigma, like, they were starting to lose control of that. Like, it went back to 3.5k. Na'Vi didn't really want that fight in the manner it happened.
Roche is up too.
This is what I was talking about. Like, you lose the fight, and then you got a chance for Roshan. But then he's looking for a pick-off, and he won't find one. The TP happens, and Queen of Pain goes back to base.
This is smart. Na'Vi, they know Roche is up right now. They're going to go for the pick-off. And this is a great area for Batriders to pick heroes off.
They're going to wait. The rocket's in there from Clockwork. They need the effect to wear off, so the vision was gone for Sigma.
I think they'd rather have the pick-off than trying to straight do
using
Roche.
Funnick as bait? Yeah, there goes your bugs. Arrow's going to fly up, and if that connects, it doesn't connect on anybody. If that was a 5 seconds on out in Venomancer, it would be very, very different. The Gale connects on both Funnick as well as over on Dendy. BKB's going to save you from that, little sucker. But Sigma's most definitely looking for an open. Look where Fate is just running off to the side. He's got a level 3 hook, and he's looking for a clear line of fire.
Boom! There he goes.
Yeah, at the same time, Invis Rune is going to be picked up, looks like, by Kuro. I don't know, Mirana just left it there.
Yeah, I got lol.
All right, well, they're going to split up like that. You know immediately what Sigma's going to do with the dire advantage with Roshan. They're immediately going to go into the Roche pit, and with that Tessellator, they can clear through it really, really quickly. Like, going all the way to top lane was pretty risky by Na'Vi because now they lose control of Roche.
Yep. There it goes. Aegis as well as Cheese. Cheese will go to the Queen of Pain, Clockwork. Hearing an attempted latch. Doesn't really go anywhere. But Aegis over on the Weaver. I'm still not feeling the damage output from Miguel. I'm still not feeling it, man. We're now 37 minutes in. He's 5-3, 2,500 gold on him. So he's got the money to start the damage shielding, but unspent money doesn't give you any kind of advantage apart from maybe a buyback. Like, that's the... Whoops. Sorry, camera. It's the only thing you can do. Morana's also in a little bit of trouble. He just leaped into the tree line, but he's got no man to TP out here. And Soshka, oh, wow. He saw him through the crevice. The bugs will latch, and Funnick is dead. He doesn't have buyback. It's on cooldown for now. He's got the money, but it's on cooldown.
Ooh,
the only ones
really
with
bad.
It's only Sigma players with buyback. Na'Vi either have it on cooldown or they're short of money or both.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. I don't know. I mean, it's almost worth it at this point, Na'Vi, just to push this game out late. Instead of making the deciding factor happen right here, right now, push this game out by giving up a Rax.
I don't know if they can, man.
I mean, it might be their best option. Without Morana in the team fight at all, and without buyback on Lifestealer, if they lose this team fight, the game's over.
True. Flame Break at least going to try and delay them. They use the fortification. Not for the range Rax at least, but they may use it for the melee. Avor's still inside. Yeah, there goes your fortification. Puppy's coming back in again with the tornado. So you're right. They're going to let the tier 1 the top tower go and fight with the Morana in the mid. But Miguel's still moving through these towers rather quickly. The tornado's going to slow him down. Faye's going to battery assault to kill off that Wild Wing, or to stop that Wild Wing. Just the mini Sunny he was looking for. And Denny, now's the jump in. Dragging Soshka back. Soul Assumption, they've got him. The familiar drops down. He never got the cheese off of Miguel. He got locked in with his own cogs. Fader as well. It's a horrible, horrible choke point right now for Sigma. They've lost 4. And now pass. Those impediments start flying Miguel into it as well. And look at the range on that. He has to time lift himself back almost inside the base where he's going to pick up the gem so they cannot see him. Dropping his TP scroll so he can do so. Puppy will not be able to chase him out that way. But they just went through Aegis, as well as through 3 of the players from Sigma. You're right, Cap.
And they forced a buyback. They forced a buyback. This is beautiful. That's the kind of all-in move, right? You get really nervous. You're Rax down all of a sudden. Next thing you know, they're taking tier 3s. Na'Vi, they're experienced enough to know we can't force that fight at top. We can't even force the fight around the tier 3. We have to let that go. We have to wait until Morana's up because this is our all-in last-ditch move. Yeah. That's it. And now they actually have a chance of being able to come back. That was an amazing team fight. They're still very, very far behind. Sigma can play this very, very patiently if they want and even wait till next Roche. That's how much control they have right now. But it gives Na'Vi an opening, whereas they'll trying to defend top or something like that is kind of like a suicide run.
Yeah. I think Fade's going to have nightmares about those cogs, dude. Like,
that
was like the cogs position was basically here. And doing that, it forced this narrow choke point that Sigma had to walk through. And when you do that, you make a narrow choke point with Firefly going up, and Lifestealer is just like, well, line him up and let me hit him. It's the worst possible situation you could be in. And they basically got stuck. Oh, 5 seconds on that. I don't think they really want to go up that high, though, because that's in very, very deep.
Abba's there, too, so...
But that's those moments. Soshka jumps in on Funnick. He's too close again! The mech charge, the mana style. He leaps away. Clockwork! He hooked in from huge range. Now the Shiva's gun is going. Puppy, he needs to get in deeper. The lasso, it's got Soshka again. The Fate is the main target of Revorce. Use the Abyssal Blade. There's 3 of them combined up together, and now they bring down Revorce. It's a 1 for, well, it's actually a 2 for 1 right now. And Puppy locked in the corner. Mad, you'll get the ulti off. Kuro damaging through the rear. He still can't kill off Fader. The shield's protecting him. Finally, the Soul Assumption damage will do the job. But Miguel standing there as the Weaver. He's got all the damage in the world. Puppy is brought back into this fight. Familiars, they look for 1 drop, 2 drops. It buys the space for Dandy to TP himself away to safety.
I don't think that matters, though. They've got enough control. With just the Weaver, they should be able to pick up a second Rax, and with 2 Rax down, it's going to be so hard for Na'Vi to come back. True. They may even lose their bottom as well.
Yeah, this is a great position for Sigma. Puppy already now going to be galed up, and he's got a Medallion of Courage on him as well. The Sprite's trying to help me. Breaks the shield of Miguel, but it's only a little bit away. Blink Lasso. They're dragging Mad back in again. The Rax hasn't gone down just yet. Miguel, though, he's about to finish the job. Familiar. 1 last drop. They pop off the dust. He's still got Timeless Valve. They trigger the Lincoln Sphere as well. They're looking for a little bit more Miguel. They need more sticky napalm up on him, but they won't get it. Millie Rax goes down the mid, so 1.5 Rax, but the important half in the middle going the way of Team Sigma.
Still, that's better than I expected it to go for Na'Vi. That was a great pickoff on Mad, and that damage coming out. One of the really bad things in that mid-team fight, Lifestealer, Havos, he was targeting Clockwork, and that's not necessarily a bad idea, because his other big option was Queen of Pain, but Queen of Pain still had the cheese up. So if he recognized that fact, maybe that's why he made the decision he did. But Clockwork, let me look at his items. He's got Shiva's mech, which is a little bit more armor. He's got a huge amount of armor, and then on top of that, he's got a Talisman of Evasion.
Yeah. You weren't going to kill him off without a Monkey King bar, basically. No. And the only one who's building into that is Funnick. But every time, again, we have another moment where Funnick gets caught out. He got caught out in the top, now he's caught out in the mid. And it's not even like positions where you'd say, well, okay, like you can understand he's looking for the farm because he knows he needs that Monkey King bar to deal with the butterfly effect, which is coming up on Miguel as well. The courier's flying out, he's full butterfly. So we have two heroes now with high levels of evasion that the Lifestealer can't directly hit. Like, you got a Vorse trying to build into an Assault Cuirass right now. Puppy, he spots Mad's wards, and in fact now an Observer ward going down as well. Very smart decision by Bucky Mad to move himself back again. But this is just such a rough position for Na'Vi and a fantastic position for Sigma. Like, they couldn't have asked for a better like end to this mid game right now.
Na'Vi, they're not going to let Sigma determine the pace of this game. Like, they know their best option here is to be able to maybe see some sort of smoke up if they have one, but at the very least, go for some sort of gank, go for some sort of pickoff. That's how they're going to regain control of this game. It's not going to be just sitting back and waiting for Sigma to choose their fight and come into the base. They need to be able to get aggressive. Right now, they have Havos inside of Dendi with that Infest. Maybe even just throwing it early so they have the double Infest, possibly. That's an option. But I think they really need to be looking for a pickoff here, and I think that's exactly what they're going to be doing next.
How the hell is this still the way it is, man?
I know. Midas Gaming, man. Midas Gaming, that experience.
But the experience I can understand, but that's like a little bit more than that much of experience. Because then you got your gold the other side, which is that 7.5 to 8K worth of gold going the way of Sigma. But they also have now, well, okay, they have a significant tower advantage and building advantage over Na'Vi.
They do. Not a single tier 2 has gone down on the Sigma side.
Which means instantly, do your math, peoples, that's 5 towers advantage plus buildings. So an easy 6.5 to 7K gold. Yeah, it's just tower gold. Fader caught out. They've got it, but the battery assault's not going to make this easy for him. But with a Vorse and Puppy with the Impetus, they've got to kill finally. So at least that will delay the Heaven's Halberd, which I'm pretty sure was Clockwork's next item he's building into.
And it'll delay Sigma's push.
True.
And now they know for at least a good minute and a half, Sigma's not going to be pushing in that bottom lane.
Which is like prep time for Roshan.
Exactly. So if they can force another good pickoff like that, take control of the map, grab Roche, turn that into being pushing in middle, taking some tier 2s, they have a really solid chance at a comeback here.
It'll be a crazy comeback if they manage to achieve it. And can you really call it a comeback when you've been leading the experience the entire time but not the gold? And I think the answer can be yes.
Yeah.
Because really, at the end of the day, like golden experience, I keep referring to it just because it's kind of like baffling the mind that Na'Vi is still able to claim that much experience over them. Infested Dendi again. But he's right next to Soshka and Miguel, and they can see him. He's flying to check out something. And now fine pass. Blink in, Orchid, and out comes a Vorse. He's already popped the Abyssal Blade and Queen of Pain. He got the cheese off. He got the cheese off. Then he comes back in again, tries to go for the lasso. Arrow connects on top of Path. So they don't have the shield, but they've lost a Vorse. He'll buy back into this. Miguel, time lapse now. After already using the cheese before, Puppy, his heal won't be enough. Soul Assumption damage is very minimal over there against Paris. But Funnick, he has to back off. Leave Puppy there for dead. DKB will not protect him. Arrow again goes under the wing of Queen of Pain. And they use the Mirana ulti to escape out both Kuro as well as Funnick. And now it's a 4v5 situation, but every ulti from Sigma is on cooldown for the moment. And the cheese had to be expended, so we won't see a double cheese push from Sigma. But the question is, does Sigma have enough balls to go in with just the Enchantress down?
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. For me, Enchantress is one of the big damage dealers that you can't really deal with accurately because you're trying to deal with so many of the other heroes. You're trying to put down Funnick. You're trying to put down Dendi before he gets off Lasso. You're trying to do all those sort of things, so...
All in, Vorse!
There it is.
He already bought back!
It's done.
This could be it.
No buyback.
It could be over. Dendi gets back inside the base, but Soshka follows him in. Another scream. It's a double kill for him. This does feel like a good gear. But the bottom tier 3 tower, look at it go. Look at it go. Even Mirana, she bought out for this fight. She bought a Monkey King Buster. She was ready to fight through the evasion. But this will be a full raxing. The mid's already completely gone. There goes your bottom melee and your bottom range. It's Mega Creeps. It's Sigma with the momentum. 5 euros inside the base. Avorce getting caught out at the last point. Opens up the base of Na'Vi. And will look like they'll eliminate them from the tournament, actually, that Na'Vi and Virtus Pro are the ones that are hosting. We'll remove out both those favorites. Alliance is waiting in the grand final. Speed looks like Sigma will be their opponents in the semi-final, which is scheduled for tomorrow. We'll confirm that at a later date over at d2cl.org. But for now, Sigma keep on fighting. The Venomet throws the ulti out. They're just picking up the remainders of Na'Vi, throwing their bodies back inside the well. But the fortress is going to go down in just a moment. The tier 4 towers, and there it is. The captain of Na'Vi calls out the GG, and Sigma take it. Over a 5-hour set, it is going to be 3-2 to Sigma in this best-of-5 quarterfinal matchup. Na'Vi are fully eliminated from the D2CL.
Unbelievable, man. That was just an amazing game. What a best-of-5 series. Sigma just playing their hearts out, man. In this last game, they just systematically kind of used their advantage. They saw the timing. I think that was one of the big things, is Sigma really utilized their timing there. They played passive when they needed to be able to pick up Lincolns. They took down towers at the right times. I kept calling for them to, group up and take towers, but they did it on their own times, and it worked out brilliantly. Na'Vi just, they could never get a hold of the game. It felt like Sigma was constantly pushing them, and even though Na'Vi had a couple of good comebacks, a couple of good team fights where they were able to actually pull the game maybe within their grasp, Sigma immediately knocked it back down. Amazing play by them. This is looking to be one of those top Western teams. Like, I would have put them, maybe you can put them top 15 before MLG and before the recent tournaments, but now after this, they're easily top 10, maybe even top 5. Yeah. Amazing.
And they're looking good. They're playing well. And road to TI4. Road to TI4 on the way.
I'm pretty sure they got that secured. Like, after that game, after all these, if they could just secure themselves a final.
Nothing is ever secured inside of Dota 2, because we're still sitting here. We're here in December, and all the qualifications and everything else starts in probably about like 5 to 6 months time from now, and that's an eternity in the world of Dota. You got to wait half a year before
There's so much drama to be had before then,
because the Dota community feeds off drama. Stick around, guys. We're not actually going to stop. We're going to keep talking for a little bit longer. Matt's just jumping over to a different computer right now so we can have a bit of a chat. So we'll pick his brain about this matchup and everything else. Wonderful guy as well. Absolutely wonderful guy. I got to cast 2 Starlighter seasons ago with him, which was really, really good fun. And for people out there that do check out his blog, you definitely, you've already know what's great, and link it to all your friends, because it really does, challenge the mind of a Dota player.
Yeah, that guy is just so knowledgeable and so passionate about Dota. And it really comes out in both of his play and his personality.
Man, he's one of these guys too. I think he's very similar to us. We'll take a chill pill, and then not talk about Dota, maybe once every 2 years. And Matt is kind of one of those other kind of guys. So it's what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about esports and Dota. Not a problem, man. We're having a good conversation tonight. Yeah, it was really, really good. All right, guys, if you got questions for Matt, spam them to me, Toby1Dota, over on Twitter. So just throw them over there. We're going to have a very, very short break by the looks of it. Matt does need 5 minutes. So we'll be back here in a couple moments' time. So stay tuned. And, oh, wait, no, he says 30 seconds. No, stay. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. It's give me 5 minutes. Wait, sorry, French translation. That means 30 seconds. He's trying to work with Valve time, 30 seconds equals 5 minutes. Try and do your maths to work out when Half-Life 3 comes out. 4 years.
Half-Life 3 confirmed, at least. Way to go, Toby.
If we have a release date, then at least it's confirmed. Is that what we're saying? Man, Valve listens to the community. They have to give Half-Life 3 if they listen to the community.
I know, it just feels like it's never gonna come.
Either way, one thing that has come, man, I gotta say, it's a very Christmassy picture you currently have as your profile on Skype. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man. Christmas is coming.
It is, man. Well, it seems like you got your present early. You just eliminated
Yeah.
Na'Vi from their own competition. How do you feel, man?
The present is not to knock them out, of course, but it's more us moving on. But it feels great. It was honestly one of the most intense best of 5 I've played. I think maybe the most intense. Was really, really hard series. The drafts were spot on every game. The plays as well, I felt like, at least. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a relief. It was really, really hard series.
Man, some of those team fights were like they're pretty full on. Were there moments there like you just like did things go wrong? I don't want to bring it up, but I've got to bring it up.
Yeah.
How much did you want to slap Fader after he cogged you all?
Actually, yeah. That moment was so sad, but
Because you guys were in perfect control. I don't know if you actually knew, but the entire time you had the gold advantage, which was basically only the tower advantage in this this fifth match. But Na'Vi were ahead by about 7,000 experience the whole way.
yeah. That's, I don't know. It's the like they had more split pushing tower. To be honest, the last game, if they were Dire and we were Radiant, I think we would have lost the game. Of course, the game would have been different because like as Radiant we would have like more openings. But the decisive factor was, of course, like having Aegis and Cheese for the fights. We were able to push against Batrider next with Abyssal Blade anyway. It was really important for that game.
Yeah, man. Cap, what do you got on your mind for Mad?
I want to talk about the Mirana. I mean, the Mirana was picked up and went pretty much every single game. To limited success. I felt like you guys, game 4, it went well for you guys, but it felt like that Mirana, especially when it was picked up as the main carry, was not really that successful. What are your thoughts, Mirana, and especially Midas Gaming, right? Right. Quite a few times Midas was picked up on Mirana. I know you've already had your thoughts about it, but what are your thoughts in this series in particular?
To be honest, I think that in that series, Navi actually used Midas properly, if I can say. Like, usually, I'm really against this Midas trend. I think it's really bad, and it's like I see lots of teams getting Midas, and I feel like they don't really know why they get Midas. Like sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Basically, they can end the game and then it goes on for 25 minutes extra because they wasted 6k gold on Midas, but that's just me. I mean, in that case, they knew it would be really hard for us to push towers. I mean, we don't have pushers, we have Weaver, Clockwork, we basically have to dive, and you usually don't want to dive against Snakes, Batrider, it's really hard. Mm-hmm. And they were always positioned for that. So they got Midas on Ench and Next because they assumed we couldn't force towers. And honestly, it was really hard to do so. We just caught them off guard. We had some really clutch hooks from Vada on the tier 1. That was that decided the game, in my opinion. The first fight on this tier 1, when we were able to break it, and then get rush, that was really the turning point of the game for sure. Honestly, I'm glad we won this series. I don't think we got one Midas, maybe we got one, I don't even know. So, well,
I know at one point, I think your team, for the entire time, you had 2 Midas over both games. Cap might be able to double check this with another TV stuff.
Damn it.
But I think it was 2 overall.
I mean, we've been watching Dream League as spectators, and we saw all those Midas, and honestly, it was really sad. And
it burns
really
your soul, doesn't it? It just hurts to watch.
Yeah, like I hope people now realize that you can win a game without Midas. You know, like seriously, just get Meg, get Forstaff, go team fight, whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Did you see the interview I did with Hani at Dream League when we talked about Midas? It's like there's a good Midas and there's a bad Midas.
Yeah.
And avoid the bad Midas at all costs. And not everybody has to have a Midas to make it a good Midas.
Exactly. No, really. I mean, honestly, the Midas usage was fine in this series, I guess. Honestly, but really, what I want to emphasize is the draft. Like, there's so much to say on this aspect. Like the draft from Navi, I don't think we felt that we were really out of our comfort zone at some point. We had great drafts as well. We were able to adapt, so that's a really good test for the team. But really, the draft from Puppy was really, really hard to handle, to be honest.
Well, was it something though you weren't expecting? Because I know a couple of guys in the chat were saying, "Hey, Navi is rather predictable as far as their picks go."
I don't think they are. Like tonight, they proved they're not at all. Honestly, personally, I feel like Navi will always be our main like the strongest opponent on the scene, or like regardless of who's doing well and who's not doing well. They have so much versatility when it comes to laning, drafting the heroes they play, that you can't really, they can adapt. And like one of our main assets is actually this versatility, but against Navi it means nothing because they have the exact same, maybe even better. So
Yeah.
Matt, I just want to say I love you, first of all, for agreeing with the Midases in that Game 5. But I want to talk about Game 4, actually.
Yeah.
A really interesting draft, a lot going on there. You guys ended up picking up the Murata, Abaddon going in the off lane, and you actually ended up having Bounty Hunter farming in the safe lane. What were your thought processes going into that? Because I felt like, first of all, it didn't really seem like that was what you were originally going for in the draft. What the end result was kind of interesting, but also the fact that I felt like the laning phase went kind of poorly for pretty much all the games for you guys. I mean, there were, I think, one game that you guys really nailed the early game, but talk about Game 4.
Yeah, that's like about the early game. That's really, I'm really glad about our performance tonight, because basically our performance on MLG was like based on us getting a good start and just controlling the game the entire time. And this series was the exact opposite. We lost almost every early game and had to come back against one of the the most nobody team in the scene. So it's really good. It means that whether we win or not the early game, we have a good shot at winning the game. So that means we're getting there, as a team. So but like beside that, okay, the draft for the fourth game, well, to be honest, we gave them Next and Profit. We know they were, like, we knew every pick that happened this game, and every ban almost to the last one was called, I'm pretty sure, by both teams, because every time we were like, should we get this hero right now, else they might get it, and then we don't and they insta get it. I mean, the drafts were really spot on from both teams. That's the feeling that I had, but whatever. So we got Bounty because it's a great hero against Next Profit. It allows you to scout them all the time, so you know what they're up to. It's really hard to gank him as well. And since they had Ench, and we know that Navi really likes to abandon their safe lane and just roam the map with Ench, like Puppy does it a lot when they go aggressive. Bounty was a great hero for all those, in all those aspects, and then it just fit with the draft. And actually, I think first game was actually an outpick in our favor. It was maybe the only one, but it was really hard for them to fight.
I kind of want to wrap this one up for you, man, with this weekend. Also, I will give you a beer for the match you just gave us. First part. Second part, how are you feeling about your group? Because obviously you just played up against Na'Vi right now. You're playing up against them this weekend, but not only against them, but VC Gaming also got confirmed today, as well as Mouse Sports. How are you feeling about the weekend? Are you guys feeling confident?
I mean, we feel confident going into that event because, like, tonight we proved that we can beat Navi. I'm pretty sure we can beat Vici Gaming. Of course, we can lose to any team. It's always the same with us, and I never say it enough. We can go 0-3 in this group if we, if we play bad and we just.
So what you're saying is people should not bet their rares on you?
They should. I mean, we proved it tonight. No, what I mean is that we basically can win any team and lose to every team. That's the approach we have. We know that, so it's just up to us to focus and play correct. But no, this group is really tough, honestly. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the two strongest teams in the scene right now are in our group. For me, the strongest versus team right now is Navi, and Eastern scene is hard to say. All I know is that Vici just beats everyone. Like they won DK. I watched them play today. They won LGD like super convincingly. It wasn't even close. 3-0 like in 10 minutes every game. They're looking very scary, and I'm looking forward to see them like perform. The group is going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for sure.
Yeah. Just so you know, too, man, for people that did bet on you, if they bet 4 rares, they got 10.4 tonight.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Congrats on that. Your fans are looking pretty good. It was a 72 to 28%.
There's a lot of Na'Vi fanboys that hate you right now. That's the flip side. There's a minority that loves you so much right now, and then there's the majority that just hates you.
The ones that didn't watch the game are the ones that are like, damn, that Sigma. And the ones that watch the game are like, yes, Sigma, new fans. I know where I'm betting my rares next time.
Well, I'm really glad. We had a really good run at MLG, and we had to confirm that. So we
say
just
it wasn't a
proved that
fluke?
it's not. Exactly, and we knew it wasn't a fluke because when you get this rhythm going, then you're getting there as a team. So we confirmed that tonight. So great. Looking forward to confirm that again at EMS if we can.
Well, I look forward to seeing you there, man. So Good luck. I believe the game might be scheduled for tomorrow. Is the tentative time? I believe.
Yeah, I heard so as well.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not sure who we're facing though. Speed Gaming, I think.
yeah, Speed Gaming's the last one. Alliance is already inside the grand final. So it's
Okay.
the winner of you as well as Speed Gaming play Alliance in the best of 5 grand final. But for people who are tuning in at home, as well as maybe yourself, the game is meant to be, I say meant to be, as I'm
Yeah.
just scrolling down my list, 19 CET tomorrow. So it'll be 7 p.m. tomorrow. Speed Gaming going up against Sigma Gaming. Looking forward to seeing the result of that one. Good luck, and thanks for coming on. I know it's very, very, very late at night, but
Yeah, no problem.
I'll see you this weekend. Rest up well, and maybe even cast tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, man. All right, peoples. That means we're wrapping up as well for tonight. I hope you enjoyed Cap's first broadcast live from Berlin.
I don't think I could ask for a better best of 5. I'm just so happy that I was able to stick around, and like I was like that after that first game. I was like, oh no, but they
not a
really pulled it
3-0.
out, man. They really pulled it out. That was just such a beautiful series.
Wow. Well, guys, if you want to make sure you stay tuned for this one, check all the details out over at d2cl.org. That's the official website of the competition. You can follow Dota Capitalist over on, on Facebook. It will be Dota Capitalist as of tomorrow. Once he starts working on his social networking. His Twitter is Dota Capitalist, and you can follow me, Toby1Dota. I'm over on both Twitter, Facebook, VK, all that kind of jazz. But I don't use my VK page apart from my music. But still, if you love my music, it's over on the VK.com page.
Which is like 5 of you.
Actually, no. I introduced Loaded to that. I introduced Loaded to the VK page. Like, what's VK? I'm like, man, you haven't known life until you've known VK. Yeah. So, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on the live stream.